You know, there is a deck that we haven't seen in a long time, and that is Grixis Midrange with vampires. And I was wondering why nobody was playing this deck because there's still quite a bit of power left in these Grixis cards. And I guess mostly the only like true Grixis spell in this deck. Well, I guess there's Evelyn. I love Evelyn, but it feels like it's in a weird spot in this meta. But let's talk about Corpse Appraiser because this card is ridiculous, and it was mentioned a lot of times in the past when Grixis was really good that this card is absolutely overpowered and just I don't know. I don't know who printed who designed this, but it is ridiculous to have this much power in a 3 drop that is easy to cast. Like actually easy to cast in this deck. I mean, maybe you cut the Morex just in case, but you know, I'm greedy. But yeah, it's easy to cast. You exile a creature from any graveyard, and you just look at top three and just pick one. You draw it, and then since you're putting other cards in the graveyard, you can hit like another creature, put that directly into the graveyard, draw something else, and then your next Corpse Appraiser is like already activated. Like it's self-sufficient, and against matchups where you are destroying their creatures, well, you're just getting that graveyard interaction with the card advantage attached to it. So what's really good about Corpse Appraiser right now is that you do want to interact with the graveyard. You do want to interact with the graveyard a lot, actually. There's a lot of things that you can take away, like against Legends, you want to take away Denic. There's some Tenacious Underdog running around. There's also the new green-black adventure creature running around. And I'm sure there's other things I'm not thinking about, but graveyard interaction is definitely pretty good right now. And something that when tied with card advantage and a 3/3 body, most importantly, is absolutely ridiculous. I am playing Evelyn in this deck, and there's 2 copies of it. And I realized that this card is unfortunately either insane or kind of mediocre because you need Evelyn to stick around to cast the spells. I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure you need it. You need Evelyn to stick on the battlefield to, you know, be able to cast those spells that you're getting from your opponent and yourself. So the issue is there's a lot of removal right now, and control decks have so much removal and counter magic where they can kind of easily counter this 5 drop or remove it, and you're getting virtually no value out of it, and that's kind of disappointing when it comes to creatures in this metagame. But there are definitely matchups where this card is insane, and if they don't remove it, well, you're getting a ton of value. So it's like it's a high risk, high reward card, and I just like that it has flash. I think that's the main reason to play it. Is just that this deck wants a few flash creatures. You have the Urtai and you have the Evelyn to kind of go with those counter spells and like the removal spells, and you know, kind of like weave in Corpse Appraiser plus like counter magic, and then sometimes you just pass with like counter spell plus Urtai or Evelyn up, and it's nice to have that play at the end of their turn that is proactive instead of just, you know, passing your turn back to you, waiting for your opponent to play something into your counter magic. So that's nice. The End is a card I'm like playing in every black deck basically. I love it. It's just it's kind of overpowered. Like you get an exile and you get to remove all copies of that card from their deck, and that is pretty busted when it comes to like removing specific cards like Planeswalkers. You just remove all the Wandering Emperors out of their deck. You just remove all the Shield Reds out of their deck. You just remove like anything that you judge as a win con, or it could just be you exiling a creature or a Planeswalker without caring about the ability of removing all those cards from their deck. Like it's so flexible. You either target a card you really want to remove from their deck, or you just remove something. It's just you don't really have to worry that much about it since it's good value. Like 4 mana instant speed exile is pretty nice. Like it's not overcosted for the effect that you're getting. I mean, it is a little bit, but not like that much. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Oh, also, on one other note, the reason I wanted to play Grixis in the first place was obviously Corpse Appraiser, but also because I really like Invasion of Amonkhet, where this card is so much value. Again, adding value on top of value is Grixis' game plan, basically, where you're getting every card just does, well, not every card, but like some cards do too much, and that's the point, right? Invasion discards a card from your opponent, mills 3 for both players, and you draw a card. So that's so much value. And on top of that, if you flip it, you get even more value with the 4/4 coming in, copying a creature in the graveyard. So much value here, so much value here, so much value in a 2-drop slot. The creature that's doubles up as a removal spell and also card selection, which is completely nonsense for a 2-drop. I don't know, like there's these 3 cards right here are just complete nonsense when it comes to card advantage and like overall tempo value, like everything you can think of. It's a lot stacked onto like one card, and that's kind of what you're playing around in this deck. Other than that, it's just standard Grixis shell, I guess. I have a random Brothers and it has served me very well. And the Grixis command that is pretty much played in like every black deck that doesn't have access to white, because you need that sweeper, and it's also so flexible that it's ridiculous as well. I guess this would kind of go in the same category as these cards, where it's just so much flexibility and value that it's adding on top of your game plan already. The sideboard is probably the trickiest part about Grixis right now, and the reason people are not really playing it, and I've quickly recognized this, that unfortunately Grixis does not have the tools in the main deck to beat the wide variety of viable decks that are available in the metagame. That's why it's much weaker. It's that your sideboard has a lot of work to do in a lot of different matchups, and you do not have room to play cards that are good or sideboard that is strong in every matchup. So you're gonna have to make sacrifices, and I'm trying to figure out like the most well-rounded way to make this 75. But it is tough because Corpse Appraiser has way less value against control, because Invasion has a lot. It's not terrible against aggro, but it's not as good against aggro than it is against slower decks. Because Evelyn is not very good into removal spells, because you're lacking counter magic main deck that you have to kind of compensate with like some more counter magic, because you're kind of weak against control in general, because most of your value comes from creatures that they can remove. You have to play planeswalkers, but these planeswalkers are going to be less good in other matchups. Like, it's kind of a deck building nightmare, but I kind of like navigating that. That's kind of where I'm really good at figuring things out. But unfortunately, with this deck, I cannot really come to a very satisfactory results. Although I am figuring, there's one thing I did figure out, is that you don't really need to respect control that much. And the reason you don't need to respect control that much is because control is an archetype that can lose to itself. It's not like mono red, where they have crazy opening hands and they will like always beat you unless you have the tools to beat them, which is why I have Parasitic Grasp and Brothers End. Control, they can just draw like a really awkward hand, or like a really good start into like a fizzle, into like a flood, or like not. They need to draw answers, and those answers don't always come consistently, and that's where you can exploit that weakness. So you don't really need that much against control. Sure, it's going to be like a slightly losing matchup, but you know, you're the proactive player in that matchup, and you still have counter magic to kind of go with that. You have the underdogs, you have the Lily, you have threats that they're going to have to answer relatively quickly, especially in the Beanstalk decks. Shield Red is a big problem, and you have the Invasion as well to bring Shield Red back as well. So there's a lot you can do. It's going to be tough, but if you want to be, here's a few pointers, I guess. If you want to be better against control, I would end up playing the 4 Duress, 3 Lily, and then you're probably good. If you want to be better against enchantment decks and stuff like that, probably play like an extra Extract the Truth, which is very useful in this deck. If you want to be better against aggro, I would recommend you play Trespasser as well. Maybe you go to, but you probably play Trespasser in the sideboard, I think, because you do want the Corpse Appraisers against aggro. It would probably be cutting this for Trespasser. If you really are scared of aggro, you can definitely go without this card, and you'll just crush like all aggro decks, basically. I mean, not all aggro decks, but like, I'm talking about mono red, basically, where Trespasser is probably your best card. Mono white and stuff like that is relatively easy, just because you have Brother's Ends and the Grixis command, the Shield Red. Like, you have a lot of good cards against white aggro decks anyways. It's mostly mono red where you might want that Trespasser instead of Invasion of Amonkhet. So we're not like that far off of having a good matchup into everything, but again, you have to make some sacrifice, because there's only so many slots you can dedicate to those cards. I do think like Invasion is probably the one card that is in contention for being replaced with like better spells to give you those better matchups overall. But the card is just very nice to have in every matchup, so it's kind of a neutral card to play. I don't know, I like it. Anyways, I don't have much else to say about this deck. It is kind of fun to go back to like really good mana base, really good card advantage, good creature. Like this deck is just good on top of good on top of good. So it kind of feels nice to go back to something like this, where it's reminding you that, you know, this archetype is not dead. Definitely not. Anyways, I'll leave you with that. Before we get into the gameplay, don't forget to click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell to keep up with my future uploads. Yeah, it feels good to play with good mana at least. Like, Grixis has the best mana in the game, I think, other than maybe Esper. Yeah, being on the draw against this is not good. Got some life gain lined up at least, and I have my 3-mana sweeper. Alright, nice. Actually have a good hand, thankfully. So I lost the coin flip, but I kind of won the draw sequence. I mean, we're still not there yet, but I'm like okay follow-up, not okay, that's okay. That's good. It's good. I mean, what can they really get off of that? Oh, well, yeah, that's not good. I probably should have destroyed it. I mean, that's probably the only draw that I'm really afraid of, so. Yeah, that is actually a problem. That is a problem. I should have just destroyed my own creature. At least they're not going for it, which is good. Okay. Alright, I'm lucky they didn't go for it, because I feel like the 4 damage there is way more relevant than whatever they're doing here. Have counterplay to that too. I do need at least a cut down here. Okay, good. Alright, now... Okay, now I'm in a good spot. Cut down should stabilize me. Draw, but I have counterplay to it. I draw a land, I'm in a really good spot. I feel like this card is actually very good right now. Oh, well, they can't do that, no. Kind of bad, well, not bad auto tapping, but I'm happy they didn't target Evelyn, that's good. They have to do it preemptively. Yeah, Evelyn doing work here. I'll just take my appraiser. Okay, well, thankfully I'm not an idiot, and I did actually bring some cards from mono red. It's still not easy though. It's still not easy at all. I think I'll bring in duress just because I'm on the draw again. I need this to live probably. The main threat for me is the Mishra's Foundry, because I can't really interact with it. The thing is, with this build, I think I have the card advantage to play Duress. Appraiser is very, very good on card advantage, and Blood Tithe Harvester can discard it. Risky, but 26 lands should, on average, get me a land here. Very hard to beat Kumano turn 1 on the draw. Oh, okay. Okay, no burn really. That's good. Can't really hold this up. It's just so mana inefficient, and since they don't have burn, I can just use this as a removal spell, kind of. Okay. I'm okay with that. Nice. Pretty good things here. The land is nice, but I don't really have that much removal. And I think I have decent odds to find land anyways, so might as well just do this. And I mean, the problem is I can't use this, so oh. I didn't really bring in removal spell for that. Actually, Brotherhood's End is good. I don't have any other plays. This is actually annoying. And I didn't draw Brotherhood's End, which would have been really good there. If they have a removal spell for Shield Ride, it's probably over, but can only hope. Oh. Brotherhood's End still puts me in a good spot here. I might have to go for the blood to Brotherhood's End. That, or I can do... No, I can't do double removal spell. Well, either way, I think I'm doing this either way. I think it's this. I mean, this can't really... Yeah, the problem is, if I don't draw Brotherhood's End here, I have to do this into this. Which means I want the land. Which means this is probably the only thing I can discard. Annoying. Kind of just solo lose to Planeswalker. But then again, they had a removal spell for Shield Rod, so... That's not the end of the world. They have no other follow-up. I think they should have minus. This puts them in like a really weird spot. Where I'm almost stable. Ah, they're going for the ults. Okay, that is not good. That's fine, I think. They can only kill one thing, so... This is actually gonna be pretty good. Yeah, that they greeded a little. I think they were pretty far ahead. They had multiple opportunities to capitalize off of this 2-for-1 game, which I mean, I guess it kind of does by drawing mountains, but mountains don't do much for them. So I guess they have to block here, which is, I mean, kind of unfortunate, but like, still I get a Foundry, which is one of the most annoying things to deal with. And the one thing I really missed playing was Brotherhood's End. I still feel like that card is ridiculous. I don't think I'm supposed to interact with that. Okay, this might be an issue. Again, like, I guess the main weakness for this deck, and probably the reason nobody's playing it, is because of, is because of wedding announcements, which I don't have an answer to, so... Is there an answer to wedding announcement, I wonder? I don't know. Totally fine with that. Is there an answer to wedding announcement? That is true. Like, there are a lot of wedding announcement decks. I'm pretty sure I can figure it out. I don't think there's anything that destroys it, right? I mean, there is. There's the sac. There's the 2 mana. 2 mana sacrifice enchantment, which I will probably end up playing, I think. It's not even that bad of a card. If there's anything else, maybe I'll consider that. There's counter magic, that's true. Yeah, it's not like I can't, like, ever deal with it. And when one sticks, I think it's okay as well. It's when they start stacking them that we're truly in trouble. I'll take this 2-for-1 any day. Oh, it's 1.5. Well, it's actually 1-for-1 because that comes back. But it's very mana efficient for me. I'm trading 2 mana for like 3.5. Wish I had a Praiser. Make my life a lot easier. Probably just booting this. I need action quickly. Don't really need this at more than -2. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's very, very good. I wonder what I open with here. I think this is higher upside. I might as well just start with this. I don't love the attack. It's not very beneficial. I'm only playing Bean for green cards? For Beanstalk? Yeah, so... I don't get it. So it's not Abzan? Because there's only one green card? Not truly Abzan? I mean, I don't know, whatever you want. Arguing semantics is very, like, who cares? The color combo is the color combo. That's all I care about. Like, what else are you gonna call it? I don't even want to argue about this. It's pointless. Whatever. I would have played more green, but the first version of the deck just didn't seem like it needed it. I was thinking about playing the 5 mana Rhino, but that's about it. And Terra Sunder, maybe. There's no other green card worth playing over black and white cards. For the most part, they all do things better than what green could do, other than like exactly Rhino and Terra Sunder probably. But the metagame's not really lining up with those cards. Yeah, again, like main problem here is wedding announcement. We can just deal with that. It would be a lot better. Like if they start slamming wedding announcement, I'm not sure what I'm gonna be able to do. I wonder if it's ever duress post board. Like it's not unreasonable. They do have counter magic. I'm gonna try it. Again, this deck is one of the better decks for duress, just because like if you top deck it, you usually have a blood token, or you're just way far ahead on card advantage. Also, I think invasion, it's actually not bad against soldiers because they do, throw their hand out quickly. But human, 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 human. I could also see this being useful to some extent. I could also see. I think I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna play negate, I think. Philly, thank you for the raid. Appreciate it. A lot of people. Not even Glissa? No. Glissa's not playable in a reactive deck. I mean, it's playable, just very suboptimal. Like that's not your game plan. You don't want to enable your opponent's removal spells. Anyways, this is we should stop talking about Abzan. I'm trying to play Grixis here. We'll talk about it after. This hand's pretty good. Double fast. Triple fast, not good, but it'll have to do. I could have kept this, but I think my deck is pretty happy with like more mana overall. I think Duress is gonna be good when I draw it. The only thing that could happen that would be really bad is this start like cycling Zephyr Sentinels where, I can never target. Okay, that's... Again, I said if these resolve in multiples, it's hard. But I do have counter magic, and that's probably the main way I can try to pull ahead here. I was still not in a good spot because I don't have follow-up to this, but... Yeah. And I cut most of my, like, additional card advantage. I no longer have the, yeah, playing this was a mistake, probably. Well... How was I supposed to know that I was just not drawing spells? Ugh. Wow, that is not good. Okay. I think we lose now. I mean, I just couldn't follow up. I guess I can bounce that, which is not bad. They're flooding as well, which is... I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's fine. That's a good draw. Alright, maybe if they Just don't draw much. I might be alright. I can bounce that end of turn and counter on the way back. That's really good. Okay, so we both flooded, but I have better top decks than they do in this spot, so pretty good. Wandering Emperor, I mean, do I care? Probably not. Ah, there's got to be a better game plan than just counter enchantments, right? Surely. At the very least, having one card that could just destroy enchantments would be nice. And I will probably play it. It's the 2-mana discard thing. Pretty versatile. I know they have counter magic. I'm pretty sure. That's for 1. That's fine. I can just do sack and get back. Do I even want to do that? Not that good. Not that good. They got nothing. Well, yeah, X equals 1. They're not going to get much out of that. I think I still do it. Yeah. Tempo at this point. Okay, so that's like one of the main weaknesses highlighted there. They probably were holding this knight for a while, and it's against decks that have a lot of removal spells like I do. If your early game doesn't resolve and doesn't stick, this becomes a liability. And I've played decks with knight, and it does feel like that sometimes. I usually end up cutting it post board. I mean, you already have this. You have Wedding Announcement. You don't really need more. Now, if you high roll, it's nice, but like I have so much removal that this is, for the most part, on average, probably not getting anything useful. And you're also cutting a lot of creatures post board because you need this and you need this. So the hits are even lower. I might actually cut this Mirax. I feel like it's a little bit greedy, but also, I don't know. Like it does feel maybe. The question is it necessary? That's the better question. Okay, that's a ramp deck. Green is pretty good against red. That's true, but green is not very playable right now, so I mean, I was talking in like in terms of standard viability. Usually your deck doesn't have access to that much green. Okay, this matchup, if I don't draw counter magic, I'm probably screwed. Hmm. Bans control, so they have counter spells. They also don't have that many answers. I think I just have to play game 1. I can't sit because I don't have counter. Yeah, but when you're playing domain, you have white cards. So you'd rather play white anti-red spells. You don't play red, you don't play green anti-red spells because green anti-red spells are not very applicable to like other matchups. Whereas Sunset Revelry can also be useful against like mono white and stuff like that. The green cards are mostly purely for life gain. And they're usually mid-game spells. I don't have much blue. I mean, the only 2 green cards that are good against mono red are the Rhino and the 3 mana 3/3 that you can pay 1 extra to gain life and exile graveyard and destroy enchantment. Whereas in white you can play 1 mana deal 3 exile, you can play Sunset Revelry, you can play Lockdown. No way. Uh. Oh man, this Mirax is screwing me over. I might cut it. I mean, it's unlucky that I only found one blue. Is this ever useful? I mean, maybe. I guess this enables their make disappears. I might as well destroy it. I drew the wrong side of my deck, I think. Well, actually, I don't really have a right side game one, I guess. This is going to be useful. Eventually. I like this because I can get it back. Another whale, probably. Hmm. Ugh. Finding three things that I want there. Well, I guess I don't really want this. Two things that I might want. I guess I don't really want this either. Actually, it's fine. It's just that I don't really have that much blue. Kind of dying to this with the... I think I just lose the Mirax. I have no blockers. Can't find, I guess I can generate blockers. I can't find, like, Harvester or something. I need... it's not very useful either. Hopefully they play into this, I guess. I need this as a blocker. I think I just have to play it out. Maybe this is better. So I just do this next. I think I'm gonna die, I think. Okay, that's good. Same thing, right? Mm, actually kind of good for me, but no, I'm not. I don't think I'm beating a 5 card hand here. They might have a lot of sweepers, which is my only hope, I guess. I'll start with this because this blocks this anyways. Worst case, I flash this in, I guess. I don't know. I can't really commit to multiple creatures. What's a better outcome for me? I think on average, countering this is a better outcome. Odds of them having a counter spell for this are pretty high. If I let this die, I won't be able to block, probably. Oh, sure, they get a sweeper off here, but then I just play this. I don't know. This is my only chance, honestly. How much I can do. At least, like, they can't Mirex again, which is kind of fine. Like, I'm okay with this more than anything else. We can get a Praiser back. Doesn't do much. Kind of wondering if I need more counterplay to Mirex as well. It's just not that much I can do. Very good. Yeah, I can't beat it now. Well, whatever. Game 1 is not good for me. I didn't even draw Invasion. Like, there was so... Actually, Invasion Game 1 is not that good. Game 2 is really good. I think I could cut the Virtue. Probably could... I mean, I'm gonna need answers for Shark and Whale, probably. I mean, I have this. I need more than that, though. Probably don't play this. Just play, like, 2 or... 2... I probably play 2 the end, just to counteract Wandering Emperor. I don't think Corpse Appraiser is something I really want to play either. But I still have to play it. think there's two main weaknesses I have against control, but it's fixable. Is I don't have enough planeswalkers. I can't threaten them with creatures, which is the main strength of this deck. Mana efficiency, probably. I can do max tempo if I find land. There's a shark. Yeah. I mean, I do have things for it. I just don't have them in hand. At least I can get rid of it, but... Like, I didn't cut all my removal at all. So, I wish I had a removal spell there instead of... Well, it's not that bad, I guess. Putting something in the graveyard enables my other corpse appraisers. Unfortunately, Taplander is very, very, very bad. But I don't think it's gonna matter, because I wouldn't counter that anyways. Another Tapland's really very bad. Okay, I mean... We're not, like, doing too bad, I think, but we're not doing too great either. I think I have to counter that. Like, they're not really playing proactively, so this counterspell is not going to be that useful. I think it's only trading for a removal spell, basically. This is probably not resolving, unfortunately. I don't want to do it now. And I plays into Syncopate too. Ah, yeah, if this was untapped, I would do it now, but... Maybe Evelyn is not as good as I think it is against control. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's only good when you're ahead, I think. Okay. Alright, okay. Okay. Negates, since I didn't have... Yeah. Actually, Evelyn is not that good. I mean, it's not good because it just dies most of the time. Against control. I don't have that much against control, actually. I have to respect it a little bit more, I think. I think I'm okay with playing this land. There's Beanstalk. There's Beanstalk again. Okay, that means my shield reds are activated now. Nice. That's pretty much perfect. Also get this land out, which is nice. Okay. Well, we're close. I need shield red. The end is whatever. Do I even want the end here? Better than land. That's good. I need to land now. Okay. Ooh. I really don't want to use that as a land, but double counterspell is just... I don't think I can do it though. I think it's just A double counterspell though. I think it's double counterspell. Like, if I cast this and save this, I can only... If they syncopate me for 4, they have 2 mana up. I think I have to, yeah. Like, I don't know. If I don't kill them this turn, I'm not sure I'm gonna win. I have to give myself the maximum. Okay, that's fine. Oh, thankfully I played it. Oh my god. I was not expecting a Hullbreaker because it's really bad in this matchup. Deluge, Syncopate. Oh. Okay, so 2 Hullbreakers. Wow. Oh, they left. Nice. That's a mistake. To concede to the end once it's already resolved is a mistake. 1 whale, 2 sharks, 2 Hullbreaker, counter, negate, stroke, binding, 1 sunfall, binding, 2 sunfalls, 2 sunfalls, wow. 2 deluge, 2 deluge, okay. Okay, I mean, Evelyn is it's actually not that good. Yeah, my deck sucks against control. I thought it was better than it actually is. I guess since I didn't really think about it, now that I'm actually facing the matchup, I can tell it's bad because this is useless. This is actually not that as good as I thought it was. This is usually like not great either. So realistically, I'm only playing with like these. I mean, this is not even that good either. No Wandering Emperor. Wait, that means the end sucks actually. Just play another Go for Throne. They're gonna board in Wandering Emperor. Wait, they have 0 Wandering Emperor? What? There's no way they would. There's no way they have Wandering Emperor and they would not keep it post board. There's no way. So they just don't have it, which is fine. Yeah, like I have a lot of dead cards basically. Thankfully, I have the Mirex, which is actually relevant in this matchup. I'm trying to think, like maybe Evelyn is just not supposed to be in the deck, and then I just play Planeswalkers for the card advantage. It's much worse against other decks, I think, because Evelyn is actually good in those matchups, and Planeswalkers are less good. Maybe Chandra would be interesting, but it's not that good against control either. I think I'm going to extract, so yeah, turn 2. Nice, okay, I can just do it. I can take their shark, I can take their binding, take a lot of stuff here. I mean, Hullbreaker is just a dead card. Unfortunately, they do have negates, so this is not resolving. Tapland's annoying. I don't think I play into it. Doesn't really make sense. Could force resolve it on 5, maybe. I'm getting punished very heavily here. For playing a bunch of fast lands. I could go down on fast lands. I think it's not ridiculous to do that. Okay, punish. Hoping they wouldn't top deck that or something. Having to play this is definitely not good. Force out negate, then play this. I think it's okay. Beanstalk is annoying. They're drawing really well. They drew the answer to Shield Red, and they drew the Beanstalk. And I have a bunch of tap lands. Yeah, I'm kind of screwed here. Like I just can't really play on curve, which I would want to. Bark in the graveyard's nice, but again, I can't really do much here. I think I have to play this. It's gonna get exiled anyways, so I might as well. They do have Wandering Emperor. What the? They boarded out Wandering Emperor? Like, what? This is annoying because they drew pretty well here. Beanstalk screws me over pretty hard. Ugh. I'm not going to be able to keep up with the card draw. Yeah, they kind of drew out of it. They had a kind of weak hand, and it turned into a really good hand because they found the counter for Shield Red, and then obviously Beanstalk doing Beanstalk things. Not really sure how I ever win this matchup actually, unless I just play more copies of or I could. Okay, there's a version of this deck that plays adversary, and in that version, I think I actually have a decent matchup into this. I might shift it over to that version just for this matchup alone. Like, playing 1-for-1 is impossible. I do want to flip it first if I can. Just so they can't counter it. Is there any... I'm not playing anything sorcery speed. I mean, duress maybe, but well, like, what would duress ever hit here that they wouldn't have already cast? Pretty much nothing. I guess if I draw exactly Extract the Truth, I would play it. If I draw another Invasion, I would play it. Alright, I think I just go for it. I don't think I'm playing that. I guess they could have a sweeper. Yeah. I didn't check if they still had Sunfall. I'm gonna do it. Like, there's no reason not to, I think. They might have Negate, which would be fine. Could wait for 4, sure. I'm gonna try to get a counter spell here. Oh. Maybe they do have the sweeper. That would be really unfortunate for me. I would love to have Blade Coil Serpent in this matchup. I cut too much against control. I cut my Ashiok. I cut my another copy of Lily. I cut my Blade Coil Serpent. I literally cut like everything against control. And it's coming back to bite me. Okay. That is annoying. If they drew a negate, that would do. I have to hope I get this flipped before I cast this. Ugh. I think I'm gonna get it. Nice. Still got there. Like, the deck is not completely bad against control, but it's very iffy matchup. with no, like, I just didn't respect the matchup at all. Like, I have nothing. Thankfully, Extract the Truth, honestly, very impressive. Thankfully, I recognize that. If you enjoy my content and would like to help me keep making it, consider supporting me over on Patreon, where you can access to a bunch of bonus videos, as well as other rewards depending on the tiers. And thank you so much to all the lovely patrons that are already subscribed. I appreciate it very much. And I will see you all in the next video.